Main idea is a relationship. That is a big key factor in teaching main idea. It is all about a relationship. There is a linear connection between the main idea and the supporting details. If they don't connect, if they don't relate, then it doesn't support. So that's how I get my students to understand what are supporting details and what doesn't. Does it connect? Is it related? Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode in Adventures of Comprehension. I have 5 main idea mini lessons that we're going to walk through tonight, hopefully to give you some new and fresh fun ideas. I've got a 1-page freebie for you tonight with all 5 mini lessons. I've got the objectives written here at the top for each one. All right, so mini lesson number 1. So the objective here is I can match the pieces of an article based on its main idea. What you're going to do is before the lesson, you are going to have written out a title of an article, you're going to have written out a heading, and you're going to have written out 3 to 4 facts that would be used in that article. And then you're going to do that twice. So technically you're going to have 2 different articles going on. 2 titles, 2 headings, and then 2 sets of 3 to 4 facts each. And you're going to mix them up, okay? And basically what you're having your students do is unmix them. So this is the title. This would be a title. And then a heading that I could see going under that title would be this. And then here are the 3 or 4 facts. And so they're basically unsorting them or resorting them, however you want to look at it, from being scrambled up. So you can look at this in 2 different lenses. You can look at this as I'm supporting my students' writing understanding of building a strong nonfiction article when it comes to heading, facts, title, all of those pieces. And then you can also look at it as readers. You know, if we can look at the facts and justify why they're connected to the heading and why they're connected to the title and see those supporting details with the main idea, then it's going to help us understand main idea better as readers as well. Now, the cool thing about this is you can take the easy way or the hard way. The easy way would be your 2 titles and 2 headings and facts are about completely different topics. So maybe you have one about dolphins and one about bumblebees. Like, clearly I know how to sort those, right? That would be a very, very basic way. So if you're just now starting with main idea, maybe in some lower grades or some students who just really are struggling, that would be where you'd start. But then you want to bump it up a notch. Now you want to have 2 different articles, but about the same topic, just a different angle on them. So maybe you're doing, let's say, penguins, and maybe you do an article about penguin baby chicks and, you know, how they're born and all this stuff. And then maybe do a whole nother article on, their penguins' habitats. So they're clearly all both about penguins. So it'll be a little bit more difficult. They really have to read into what is this fact telling me and what heading would it truly support as far as the main idea and details go. So I like this activity because you can really make it more and more difficult depending on the way you do it. Now, when I did this, I just used sentence strips. And I just kind of made up the information myself. Like I'd get on Google and be like, give me facts about penguins. And then I just kind of write those out. So I just made the activity real quick in 5 minutes and kind of had everything up. You can do index cards too if you don't have as much room. It works just the same. But I just really like this activity. It's fun, it's quick, and it really gets their brain understanding how that construction and that organization with main idea all happens and how everything is related to one another. All right, we are ready for mini lesson idea number 2, which is I can determine the main idea of a puzzle based on the details in the pieces. So if you think about a puzzle put together, all completed, and you see the entire image, that would be the main idea. What's happening in this photo, right? But then if you take one piece out and you just show one small image, that is a detail. So in this activity, what you're going to do is you're going to find maybe 2 to 3 puzzles, different puzzles, and you're going to pick maybe 1 or 2 pieces from each one. And you're going to show the students that puzzle piece and discuss how this is a detail from a puzzle. And I want you to, and you can either have them illustrate what they think the rest of the puzzle would be. So if you're working with lower grades, maybe they illustrate, or you could have them write. And you can even give them a sentence. Say, this is the detail from the puzzle. Here is a sentence that goes with it. I want you to give me either more details of what you think else you think you'd see in the puzzle, or what is the main idea? What would we see in the entire puzzle being completed? Now, in this case, there could be more than one right answer. And that's really, really cool to have this discussion, because there could be more than one right answer, but there are also incorrect answers. So having these discussions with your students to see what they come up with and why they justified it really gets that critical thinking happening when it comes to main idea. All right, we are ready for mini lesson number 3, moving right along. And our objective for this one is I can create a main idea statement with supporting details from a photograph. Yeah, so you basically go onto Google and think about situations and experiences that kids can relate to. Swimming in the summer, going to the library, having a birthday party or being at a birthday party, going to a park, recess even. You want to make sure that there are some applicable to all students. Not all students have been to a birthday party. Maybe not all students have been in a, city library. So make sure that you're thinking about your students, your clientele right there, and giving them photographs in which they can all relate to. And then from there, you're going to have them write first 3 details. Always start with the details first. Tell me 3 things that are happening in this photograph. So they're eating, let's say it is a birthday party photo. The friends are eating cake. Everyone has birthday hats on. There are lots of presents on the table. Like, you're being very, very specific, and teach them to be very specific. You don't want them to just say they're at a birthday party. Well, how do you know? Let's get into the details. How do you know they're at a birthday party? Have them focus on the details first, and then say, okay, now that we know they're eating cake, and now that we know they have birthday hats on, and there are presents, what do all 3 of those things tell me? What's happening in this entire photo altogether? If we were to add up those details, what is one sentence you could tell me about all of them combined? They're having a birthday party. Okay, let's double check. Does cake mean they're having a birthday party? Do those 2 connect? Yes. Do birthday hats mean they're at a birthday party? Yes. Presents on the table? Yes. So you can go back and forth from making the details to figuring out the main idea to then checking your details again to combine it all together. And then you repeat with a new photo. So this one's super fun. You can make a little graphic organizer with it where the photo's on one side, and then you have your line for main idea, 3 lines for details, and then you can put another one on the bottom where you've got 2 photos. It's super fun, very quick, very easy. And again, it supports main idea even for your struggling readers, because they're able to participate without the pressure of reading and comprehension. All right, number 4, I can identify supporting details in a nonfiction text. So in this activity, it's very simple. You're going to cross out unsupporting details and highlight supporting details. Yes, it is that simple. But what is so profound about this mini lesson is you're going through it sentence by sentence. So maybe you find a nonfiction article that your students are going to love, and it gets them excited to read. And so you read it together as a class, and then you go through sentence by sentence. We're first going to figure out the main idea. We're going to write that on the board. We're going to make sure we all understand that, because our focus today really is the details. Can we find supporting details? Read sentence number 1. Does this detail support the main idea? Is it directly connected? Yes or no? No, cross it out. Why not? Why does it not connect? Maybe it's not related. Maybe it is an antidote about, something that's connected to the topic. It's just not connected to the main idea. Maybe it's a question that's, being asked to the readers. A lot of times in articles, they ask us questions. That's not a supporting detail. It's little things like this that are going to help them when you're then asking them to do it completely on their own. They're going to be able to go back into that text and read it sentence by sentence and go, yes, no, 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 yes, yes, no, 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 yes. We've given them that tool. So sometimes it's as simple as backing up and going through it step by step. We are ready for number 5, our last one. And the objective is I can write out the main idea of a fiction and nonfiction text. You're going to create one sentence stem for fiction and one sentence stem for nonfiction. Then you're going to find 2 fiction articles that are short, super short, maybe even just one paragraph, and 2 nonfiction articles that are short. And in your mini lesson, you are going to read through one fiction, one nonfiction, fiction, one nonfiction. And you are going to discuss and use the sentence stems, fill in the blank. And I've actually given those to you in here. I've given you the sentence stems. You are going to model for them and work with them on filling in the blanks. And so what you're basically doing is giving them a way to word a main idea statement for fiction or nonfiction, and they kind of fill in the blanks. That way, when they go to do it independently, they kind of know already how to start the wording. And that, giving them those tools, can get the ball rolling and they can kind of fill in the rest. So we just walked through 5 different main idea mini lessons, I want to know which one's your favorite. So you need to, before you go, drop a comment below and let me know. So that's it. That's all I got for you tonight. So thanks so much for tuning in. Grab your freebie here in a few seconds and have a fantastic evening. Bye, friends.